Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we are doing our challenge questions for algebra. So these questions, while they use all of the skills that we've learnt through this topic, sometimes they're using them in a little bit of a different way, or they're just combining two things. They're just a little bit harder than you would normally have seen at this stage in learning algebra. So this is only if you really think that you've mastered this topic and you want to challenge yourself a little bit. So let's have a look at these questions. Question number 1, consider the expression 8k minus 3. Write 4 different expressions which can be simplified to give 8k minus 3. So there's lots of different options that you could have here. So we could think of different ways to make 8k. Perhaps we could do 7k plus another k minus 3. That would be one way of writing that, wouldn't it? Okay, let's try another one. Perhaps we could do a subtraction. Maybe we could start with 10k and we could subtract 2k to give us 8k and then our minus 3 sitting there at the end. Yeah? What about, let's leave the 8k this time. What if we find a different way to write minus 3? Perhaps that would be minus 2 minus another 1. Or what we do this time, we might change both things. Maybe 8k could be 5k plus 3k. And what we do for minus 3, we could do, let's start with 10, a positive 10, and subtract off 13. There are so many options that you could put down for that. You just want to think of different ways, different things that could simplify to give 8k minus 3. Okay, for part B for this question, find the value of the expression when k is equal to minus a half. That is referring to our expression up here, 8k minus 3. So we want to substitute this into that expression. That would give us 8 times by minus a half, because k, 8k, so that's 8k minus 3. Okay, now without a calculator to work this out, we would want to find out what 8 times a half is. 8 times the half is the same as half of 8, and half of 8 is 4. Because of this minus sign here, that would actually be a minus 4. Okay, because a positive 8 and a negative half will make a negative answer, negative 4. I still have this minus 3 here that I haven't done anything with, so let's write that on the end. And then minus 4 minus another 3 will make minus 7. Okay, let's look at question 2. So this is simplifying with algebra, but in these questions we need to combine some of our simplification methods. So for example, in A, we have 6x times 3y, all divided by 9. So first of all, we want to simplify the top by doing the multiplication. 6 times 3 is 18, and x and y, they would sit afterwards. So 18xy, and we still have that 9 on the bottom. Now we can do the division here from the fraction. And looking at these numbers, 18 and 9, we can divide by 9 to get a 2 and a 1. Now a 1 on the bottom we don't need to write, so our answer would be 2xy for the most simplified answer. For B, to simplify this, we have some brackets in here. We're going to need to expand them. So 5 times w is 5w, and then 5 times negative 3 makes minus 15. And I still have a positive 15 sitting out the end here. And that's all over w. Now I want to simplify the top here. Minus 15 plus 15 makes 0. They actually cancel each other out and there's nothing there. So I have 5w over w. And a w on the top and a w on the bottom can cancel out. And the answer is 5. Question 3, expand and simplify. So we've done expanding before, but this time we have 3 things in the brackets. We just need to multiply the 4 by all 3 of them. 4 times 2a makes 8a. 4 times 7, or negative 7, makes minus 28b. And 4 times c makes a plus 4c. These other terms, we just write down the end, minus 7a plus c. Now we want to look for like terms to collect. So 8a and minus 7a, the a terms. 8 minus 7 makes 1a, which we would just write as a. This is the only b term, so it's not going to change. We need to write it next, minus 28b. But we have a 4c and another c term. 4c plus c makes 5c. So it doesn't matter if you had the order around in different order, as long as you have each of those terms. Okay, I have a few more questions for you. So question 4, simplify 1.8 j squared k over 24 jk. Now, we're not used to having decimals in our fractions, and we don't like having decimals in fractions. So the first thing we want to do is try to get rid of that decimal. Now, what we do to do that is we want to multiply both the top and the bottom of this fraction by 10 to jump that decimal point over one spot. So that would make 18 j squared k over, I have to multiply the bottom as well, because whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So that will make 240 jk. Okay, now that the decimals are gone, I just want to simplify down as much as I can. So the letters are pretty easy. I can cancel a k and a k, one of those with one of those. I've got one j left. With the numbers though, 18 and 240, I need to simplify those if I can. Now, thinking about the 18 and the 24, you can leave the 0 off there while you're thinking about it. We can divide both of those numbers by 6, okay? Because 3 6s are 18. So let's divide that by 6 and we get a 3. Now to divide this number by 6, think of the 24. 24 divided by 6 goes 4 times, and we would add the 0 to the end of it, making it 40. Okay, so all that is left is 3j on the top and 40 on the bottom. Question 5. Use the rule y is equal to 5x minus 2 to complete the table. Okay, that doesn't seem so bad when you look at this equation, but the problem is these numbers are a little bit more difficult than what we're used to. So for starters, these first two, we actually need to work backwards to find out what the x would be. So normally we are given an x value, we would multiply that by 5 and then subtract 2. But since we're given the y value, to work backwards, we need to do the opposite. We would need to add 2 and then divide by 5. So adding 2 to this would give 10. 10 divided by 5 would give me 2. Now you always should check to make sure that it works. So let's try substituting the 2 into here normally now. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. It does work. Okay, let's go backwards again from 43. 43 plus 2 would give 45. Divide that by 5 would give 9. Okay, check it. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 minus 2 is 43. Okay, so we have the first two. Now, with these second two, we have decimals. Okay, so we're doing all of this without a calculator. So decimals, we need to multiply 1.2 by 5. So underneath, or maybe over here to the side, 1.2 multiplied by 5. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is a 6. Now, when multiplying decimals, the number of digits that are after the decimal place is the number of digits after the decimal place in the answer. So there was a 2. There was only one number after decimal point in the question. So we need a 1 after in the answer. So 6.0 is what 1.2 times 5 is equal to. We could just call that 6. We don't need to say 6.0. So 6, this is 6, minus 2 would give us 4. So even though it was a yucky decimal to multiply, it came out as a pretty nice answer. Let's do that again for 0.7. We need to multiply 0.7 by 5. 0.7 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So because there's nothing in here in the tens digit, we can just write the 35 straight down here. And one number after decimal place means one after in the answer. So 3.5 is 5 times 0.7. Then we have to subtract 2. So subtracting 2 whole ones off here would give us 1.5. Okay, good. All right, last one, number 6. If v is equal to u plus at, find the value of v if u is equal to 50, a is equal to minus 10, and t is equal to 2. All right, so this is a little bit harder than normal because we're not used to having so many things to substitute in. So v is equal to u plus at is our formula. We have 3 different things to substitute in. We're trying to work out what v is, so that's still there. U is replaced by 50. Then we have a plus sign. A is a minus 10. And t is a 2, which is multiplied with the a. So we need to go multiply by 2. Okay. Now, simplifying that, let's leave the 50 there. A plus and a minus makes a minus. 10 times 2 is 20. So all we need to work out is 50 minus 20, which is 30. So v is equal to 30. That is it for our algebra topic. That's the end of our challenge questions. So practice that topic, keep working on it, and join me next time for a new topic. I'll see you then. Bye.